last video, we did the living room in this apartment, and we're dealing with some very, very worn out carpet. And nothing's going right. Here.
Oh, it's turning out.
Did you actually spray in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been pre-sprayed.
Well, we got this thing here, looks like candle wax, this blue. And depending on if it is or not, it may come out, it may not come out 100%. Don't forget those closets behind the door. Alright, Dupray neat, 275 degrees at 50 psi. I'll put a link in the video description so you can go on Amazon and check them out and look at the reviews and everything. And I also put a link for our Amazon influencer store. We sell the Neat along with a bunch of other steamers there in its own department. And we have lots and lots. We have we're approaching 3,000 items, I think, now. Maybe we're over that. Just different types of things that you can get from our Amazon. It's just stuff we like on Amazon. And I'll put a link to our Facebook group if you want to join a group where you can have a bunch of friendly people who won't insult each other or do anything particularly nasty.
Now, if you like being insulted, it's not the place for you. Don't even come over.
No, we don't put up with any. We want it to be different than most of the groups on Facebook where people just turn evil with each other.
If you like being insulted, there's lots of groups that'll do that for you.
Yeah.
So go to them. Don't come to us. You won't us.
Oh yeah, we've kicked a bunch of people out because they just crossed the line.
Get the clothes real quick. I normally don't do this on camera, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
I want them out the way.
Now this is one of those carpets that's uglied up and it's worn out. So the honest truth is, if for anyone who encounters something like this, don't kick yourself because you can't make the carpet look very good, because you just can't do anything with worn out carpet. You got to always remember that carpet cleaning is not repair. So carpet cleaning is not going to repair damage. Damage is damage, and you can either, have someone repair the carpet by putting in new carpets, or just replace them completely.
And if you didn't do the damages, why do you care? You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, you clean the carpet and then you tell the customer, sorry, I got all I could, it's damaged. That's the customers that tore it up, not you.
When you're done with a carpet that's been, neglected and abused, you're not going to come in one cleaning session and fix it 100%. Now, you could over multiple sessions, but most customers aren't going to be willing to pay you to come in and clean their carpet several times to get it a little better each time. You can't help the fact we're finding stuff in here that shows they haven't been vacuumed properly. And, that's something that they take care of for us because they want to keep the price down, so we don't vacuum. But you can tell they didn't do a very good job vacuuming. And the people that lived up here, they could have been up here 3 or 4 years and never owned a vacuum cleaner. You just never know what's in these carpets. All right. Now watch out. There's stuff everywhere. So I think this is a good example of some carpets that you're going to encounter. You can't make them look 100% great. Let me just pop real quick into this living room and show you, because we've already done this hallway. The carpet's completely worn out. This living room, you have to go find the other video, but you can see that the carpets, they look okay now, but they're just okay, but they were terrible when we got here. So the carpets are lightening up, but there's some stuff in them that's just like permanent damage.
It's not stuff, it's wear. It's like someone set a table leg here of something and moved the table leg so it shuffled around until it just completely trashed the carpet. It's not dirt. It's just damage. You can't do nothing with it. You can try, but you're not going to fix it.
Okay, now he's just got a regular terry hand towel strapped to the bottom of this thing, and you can use towels and stuff like that. Well, we use these because when we get done, that thing's going in the trash dumpster. We're not going to try to clean that or save it for anything. So if you get a really really bad thing you want to clean, get you some of your old rags you don't care about, things like that, and use those, because you can just toss them if you want to. And these rags are pretty cheap,
They're dirt cheap.
You can buy these things. Just buy the cheapest ones and throw them out when you're done if you want to. Now, if you're just doing some stuff around your house, of course, you can just save it. Try to get that green out real quick.
Boy, I don't know
If
about
it's
that.
wax. Now, I'm starting to think it's not wax. That may be some dye. Seems like it's moving a
Whatever
little
it is,
bit.
looks like it's gumming up. I'll tell you right now, if it comes out, I'm charging $30. I'm not joking. That's how this works. You get something like that, you charge for it. It is coming out.
I'm not so sure. That's one of those things, if you do too much to it, you'll ruin the carpets completely where it's at, so. That could have been something, that doesn't look like wax. Wax melts, it doesn't.
It looks like more like a gum.
Yeah. Or it could have been some kind of a lithium grease or something. That some of the greases are that color. Bearing grease or
It's
something.
definitely something, if you take it out, you charge extra.
Yeah.
I'll get some
We'll
more.
come back, we'll try to come back on it in a little bit. Maybe spray some more ammonia down on it or something to help break it up.
Let me see if I can figure out what it is we're touching.
Taste it.
Mm-hmm.
What's it smell like? What's it taste like?
Okay, so it probably won't come out. It don't feel gooey like gum.
Well, it's like it's really globbed in there because it's holding the fibers.
Let me go
Now,
get
I
some-
think it is fading. Spray some
Hold on,
ammonia
let
and
me get some
peroxide.
ammonia and peroxide.
Yeah, just give it a double dose and let it sit for a minute and we'll see what happens. Now, you don't have to have a pre-spray of any kind when you're using a steamer, but occasionally you may want to use some stuff. Ammonia is a good thing to use on dark area, like dark spots. You can use ammonia on that straight.
Ammonia is always your best friend.
Yeah, spray that stuff on there and let it sit for a few minutes. And of course, don't stay in a room with it because it's going to be too intense. You rub it around your foot if you want. Rip it in.
All right, I'll be right
Now,
back.
we already sprayed these once, so.
Yep.
The peroxide is, we use a 6% peroxide, not the 3% like you get at the grocery store, so. It's a lot stronger.
Yeah, all right, let's start cleaning. You want to stand right over here, probably.
I'll turn the ceiling fan on for a minute.
Let's see. Now, we're going to leave off.
All right, he's kind of in a boring spot. I'm gonna go show you this other room. That if things go well, will go in this video coming up. But we got some more of that same green stuff, a whole bunch of it right here in the doorway. And some kind of white junk. And most of the problems in this room are from here over. That side, for some reason, didn't get too dirty. But it's the same old thing, worn out carpet. You can see how the carpet looks there. It's completely worn out. All the fiber integrity is gone. Yeah. All right. Yeah, like that stain over there, whatever that stuff is. Sometimes what you want to do is just work on it a little bit and then keep going.
You see that stain?
Yeah, it's a red.
That's a $30 stain. It is. For those of you who are new to this, the way we work is this: when you have stains in your room that are beyond normal carpet cleaning, if we take one stain out, it's $30. After we take one stain out, we might do 2 or 3 stains before we charge another $30. But the $30 just tack it on quick.
Well, if it doesn't come out with our basic pre-spray and steam, and we have to go get others, we have to use spotters on it and stuff, then we charge extra for that because that's not part of the standard. When you're working for apartment complexes, a lot of times they're so cheap about everything, they nickel and dime you to death. And so what you got to do is you got to charge them for every little thing, or they'll take full advantage
You
of it.
can't give them no breaks. If you give them a break, if you give them an inch, they'll take you a mile.
Well, see, we used to vacuum for this complex as part of our price, and then of course the maintenance guys would throw nails and screws and everything unimaginable down in the carpet. So
we started charging for
well,
that.
yeah, you'd start destroying.
That's what started us. We used to do this free as part of our service, but they ruined it by messing
Yeah,
up.
they take advantage by throwing all their crap. They just left everything for us to pick up, and we'd show up with a regular vacuum, and it's like now we gotta go get our shop vac. So but anyway, we told them that if we're gonna start doing that, we gotta charge for vacuuming. And then they came along and decided that, actually we think we're paying you guys too much anyway. What else can we eliminate to save money?
Vacuuming.
And it's like, well, you guys can vacuum the carpets before we arrive. That'll save you a little money. And then also it's like,
Look at this green thing.
yeah.
That's not perfect, but that's way out.
The way they used to be here is if we had a green stain or something like that, they'd just say leave it.
Leave it.
We don't care. We don't want to spend any money on it. So these carpets were all full of red stains, green stains, blue stains, and almost anything. If it didn't come out in our standard cleaning, it stayed behind and they didn't care. Then all of a sudden they started having to, there's a few more apartment complexes built in town and they have to compete more. So now they're trying to keep their carpets a little bit nicer.
They have to compete. That got them running.
Watch out, that ceiling fan's going full blast.
Let me go spray the next room.
All right. I'm going to pause the camera.
Yep.
So stay tuned. We'll go into that next room. I'll show at least the first half of it because that's the dirty part. Oh, that door won't stay open. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're going to see if we can get this green. We saw some of this is actually on the hard floor.
We may not get this out. This stuff is, first off, it's hard as a rock.
Yeah.
It's like crusted into carpet real
It's
bad.
not candle wax because candle wax melts fast at these temperatures, but
This could be epoxy.
it's possible.
It's very possible.
Okay, that one's starting to respond a little bit. It's melting up a little bit. You got to be concerned when you're doing these with the backing of the carpet too. I mean, you got to remember that if you get that backing loosened up and everything, the carpet's going to delaminate on you. So you got to be. There's a time when you just know it's time to walk away before you damage the carpets.
But then again, when you're working with junk like this, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't hardly tear the carpet up. It's been shot for a long time.
Well, they're responding a little bit.
See, apartment carpets are the most non-cared for apartments in the country. The managers don't really care. They just want them cleaned up to rent them again. The people that rent don't care. They don't care because it's not their carpet. It's like the managers don't own the carpet, the renters don't own the carpet.
And they use the cheapest carpet they can find at the time,
Oh,
so
cheap.
you never know what you're getting.
I'm surprised they're not putting in the cheapest viscose they can find. So I know, let's put something in you can't clean, and we'll rip it out.
Well, they had some carpets they were.
$1,200.
They had some carpets they were getting for a while, and we never cleaned one of them because they only last about 3 months, and they're so torn up by then with people living on them that in 3 months the carpets were just destroyed, and so then the people have to live on them for however long they stay, and then the carpets are instantly getting replaced. There's no doubt about it. They quit using that carpet though because they had people that would move in and have to evict them after a couple of months, and they always had to replace the carpets. So they went to a little bit better grade than that. But these days you got to watch it. There's some really bad carpets out there,
Real bad.
especially
Cheap.
for the budget priced.
Oh, which is what an apartment complex is.
Yeah. And they're not a joy to work with sometimes, but
And an apartment complex isn't charging you $1,500 a month to live there. They're a cheap apartment complex.
well,
You're living in a cheap place that has cheap stuff. And then you're charging a premium price to let you stay there.
I wouldn't be surprised at that white stuff that you just bypassed, if that's not even some mildew or mold.
I have a feeling that's drywall or paint.
Could be. They did a lot of patching in here.
I'm sure they did. Probably a lot of kilts too. There's probably heavy smoke in here and stuff in there. Pet urine, feces, cigarettes, marijuana, meth. Probably everything was in here that smelled the place up bad. Probably did the gambit of the drug scene.
Well, we cleaned an apartment in the building right behind him about a month and a half ago, and I remember going on that back porch and looking over here at this apartment, and I was like, man, that looks like a crazy place over here. Because you could just tell the blinds were like ripped down in places where they've been just completely destroyed, and it looked like one of those places I was like, I'm glad I don't live underneath them, because I guarantee you nobody sleeps.
Now we talk a bunch about apartments and get their carpets cleaned, and we're not trying to say, if you're a new business and you get to get in the carpet business and you can get some apartments, go get them. They are cheap. The
Well, it's
benefits are
steady.
ridiculous. Yeah, but
If they're going to call you every month with some more carpets they need cleaned, you know, it's steady work, and they have carpets in the winter time and things when it's a
Yeah.
slow period for you.
Well,
So don't walk away from them, but just remember.
Complexes don't stop spending money at Christmas time like a person, like homeowners do.
Yeah.
Homeowners at Christmas, you're not gonna work for them. They're gonna start spending on Christmas. Apartments and old folks homes and those kind of places, they work year round and they have to keep their carpets clean year round.
But when you start doing more residential customers and building up a client base, you're going to start hating your apartment contracts because they always call you last minute and they need it done right now, and then you always get there and nothing's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, the truth is, as bad as you guys hear us talk about this, you notice we're here. We could walk away. We could afford to leave this place and walk out right now and never come back, but we don't, because you just don't walk away from work if it's half decent.
No, they're good for 5 or 6 jobs in a month usually. Sometimes you go a month where they only have one. Sometimes you have 10 or 12, you know. But then when you have enough, if you have more than one apartment complex, now we've got another complex we do, and we just don't video over there because they got privacy concerns, which doesn't make sense on a vacant apartment. But so we don't video that apartment complex, but it's not a great looking complex anyway. They may be just because they don't want people to see what their complex looks like, because they're kind of embarrassed. It's old. It's an older one that's run down.
They should be embarrassed.
Yeah,
but,
and we do. There's an assisted living facility that we do, and we don't video in there. We used to, but we kind of quit because it's just kind of a hassle to be in the place and try to video at the same time. And then, of course, a lot of the customers, we go to their houses and they've got them. This is Central Texas, and it gets really hot, so people black out their houses with the thick curtains and everything because they want to keep as much of the heat out as they can. So you can't shoot videos in a lot of those environments.
No,
or they're hanging out with you the whole time, and you can't get them to leave you alone, so you can't
we have a
video.
lot of that. People want to watch.
When they got you in their house, they want to visit with you.
Yeah, because they haven't
Hit this
had
a little
visitor
more.
in 6 months. Oh, hang on. Here? I don't see it from this direction.
Right there. Stop there.
Oh, no.
This is a nice apartment complex too, that loud music in the parking lot, that goes on all night long here.
Oh, it's part of the fun.
So this isn't a place to live if you like to sleep at night.
Not if you're a normal average person. If you like to party and get drunk and do drugs, this is the spot.
Well, in the life cycle of any apartment complex, they may be really nice for a few years, and then there's that turning point. It may be because of the manager they get, or because of the maintenance people that they have, or just because of because it's got to a certain age, and all of a sudden they don't care anymore
Or
about
the
anything.
owner is terrible.
Yeah,
It can
and
be
they'll get to where they
that
just don't care about anything, and I think this is getting ready to transition into that, unfortunately.
Well, when you get in an apartment complex and you get enough bad people moved in, you can't really evict bad people, or you'll kick out the whole place and don't have no renters. So you kind of, once a bad manager comes along that thinks they know what they're doing and they don't, and they let a bad element move in, they've got, say, 150 units, and they got 100 of them as bad people. They can't kick all those people out. I mean, they'd be down to 50 occupied units.
Well, I mean,
So they did it to themselves.
you get apartment complexes that get so bad that the police won't even come over anymore because
Kick it over.
they're like, they don't want to babysit. If an apartment complex has some people in it that the police have to deal with all the time and the managers won't evict them, then pretty soon the police won't even come over anymore. And in fact, when we were living in Albuquerque, the police started going around and condemning apartment complexes.
They sure did.
And so they just shut them down.
We saw it in North Dallas too.
Yeah, they'll shut down an apartment complex because of too much problems, and they'll bulldoze it. And that's after, of course, giving the people a chance to clean it up a few times first. If they just won't do it, eventually, the city will condemn it because it's a problem area.
Now, the emphasis to this video, though, isn't how bad apartments are. It's this machine.
Hold on, let me hop out
Remember
there.
this green stuff?
Yeah, if that came out, then we'll consider this, that's a success. You know, it's very, very faint. I see a little bit right there. You might try hitting it from that angle too, because sometimes,
Here in a second. Just some up here.
just a bit.
Ah, I see a gouge in the carpet where it's at.
If you want to, you can spray some more.
Now I'll get it out with steam. Let the Dupray neat do all the work. We tell everybody he'll take stuff out, so let's show them.
Now that's actually one of the worst things I think we've encountered with the steamer. But I'll tell you right now, you're not getting that out with an Oric Orbiter. Because that's
Well,
something,
the
you're going to have to get out the iron.
The pilot cleaning is great, but it's the extreme heat that does it.
See, we have in our little bag of goodies, we always carry in an iron. Because sometimes we're out, we use the same, if we have the Oric Orbiter, we'd be getting the iron out right now. That would definitely be an extra charge if we have to get that out.